Over 65? 5 nuts you must eat, and 5 you should never touch. Have you ever felt like your legs are heavier than they used to be? You get tired after just a few steps. Standing up makes you feel a little dizzy. Your hands and feet tingle slightly in the early morning. You might think it's just age, but sometimes your body is sending signals about the tiny things you eat every day. Many people over 65 still believe that eating nuts is good for the heart and brain. And it's true. Some nuts help you feel stronger, more alert, and steadier on your feet. But there are also nuts that seem healthy, but quietly cause inflammation, muscle weakness, and balance problems. You don't need to cut out all nuts. You just need to know which ones to choose and which ones to avoid. In this video, we'll uncover 5 nuts you should eat every day to maintain strength and mental clarity, and 5 nuts you should avoid to prevent fatigue, dizziness, and weak legs. Stay with us until the end, because the final nut might be the hidden reason you're more likely to fall, and no one even notices. And don't forget to leave a comment and tell us, which nut do you eat every day? Now let's begin. Number 5. Brazil nuts. If you wake up every morning with tired legs, slightly shaky hands, or a sense of weakness even though you didn't do anything strenuous the day before, your body might be missing something very small, but very important: selenium. Fortunately, nature placed it exactly where it's needed, in a Brazil nut. Brazil nuts may look plain on the outside, but inside, they contain the highest selenium content of any natural food. Just one single nut can deliver anywhere from 68 to over 500 micrograms of selenium, many times the body's daily requirement. And that requirement only increases with age. After 65, the body recovers more slowly. Small damage to muscles, nerves, or the immune system no longer repairs itself as quickly as it once did. And that's where selenium acts as a recovery switch. It helps regenerate tissue and protects cells from oxidative stress, one of the main reasons the body gradually weakens without us realizing it. A study in Brazil showed that just 1 to 2 Brazil nuts per day for 12 weeks not only boosted blood selenium levels in older adults, but also increased activity of the GPX enzyme, an inflammation-fighting enzyme that protects muscles and nerves from degeneration. Participants also reported feeling lighter and less fatigued, especially in the morning. Even more, for older adults with mild memory loss, a 6-month study at the University of São Paulo found that eating just 1 Brazil nut daily significantly improved verbal skills, reflexes, and memory, functions that often decline rapidly after 65. You don't need a handful. You don't need hard-to-swallow supplements. Just 1 single nut a day, eaten with breakfast, is enough to support your nerves, muscles, memory, and stamina. And remember, not to overdo it. Selenium is powerful, and excess intake can have the opposite effect. 1 to 2 nuts a day is the sweet spot. Just enough, just right. When buying Brazil nuts, look for those still in the shell or well sealed, since the oil in the nuts can oxidize when exposed to air for too long. And like all good foods, the more natural, the more effective. Maybe you've already tried different ways to regain your energy and clarity: supplements, vitamins, energy drinks. But sometimes what your body truly needs is a single mineral, from a single nut, at just the right time. Number 4. Almonds. Almonds don't make much noise. They're not the kind of food people rave about for flavor or bright colors. But beneath their dark, simple shell lies a quiet powerhouse of nutrients. Just about 20 small almonds give you enough magnesium to relax your muscles while you rest, enough vitamin E to protect your nerves from early aging, and enough plant-based protein to slow the silent muscle loss that comes with age. A study from Tufts University found that older adults who ate almonds daily not only reduced belly fat, a rare feat at this age, but also improved cholesterol levels and felt lighter overall. Not a crash diet kind of lightness, but the deep kind. When your muscles stop feeling tight, your hands stop trembling from weakness, and you can walk without worrying. Your legs might give out. Some have shared that after just a week of eating dry roasted almonds each morning, they slept better, no longer had nighttime leg cramps, and held their morning teacup more steadily. No one expects such results from a humble nut. But the body never asks for miracles, just the right nutrients, at the right time, in the right amount. Of course, more isn't always better. Almonds are rich in nutrients, so a small handful, about 10 to 15 nuts per day, is enough to make a difference. But choose wisely. Plain almonds, no salt, no sugar, no chocolate coating. You don't need to turn it into a fancy snack. Just let it do its job. A gentle, steady source of energy for healthy aging. And if one day you notice you're standing up without shaky legs, opening your pill bottle with a steadier hand, or simply feeling less tired after lunch, remember this. It started with something small. A handful of almonds. One small change. A signal to your body that says, I still want to stay strong, and I'm starting today. Number 3. Peanuts. Mention peanuts, and many people wrinkle their nose. Too oily. Makes you gain weight. Not good for seniors. That's understandable. Peanuts have spent years on the unhealthy snack list, mostly due to how they're processed, salted, fried, buttered, or turned into sweetened spreads. But real peanuts, the pure kind, no additives, no frying, no coating, are an affordable, surprisingly powerful source of strength, especially for those entering their later years. After 65, the body starts to show little signs of wear that are easy to brush off. Feeling off balance when standing, losing grip strength, running out of breath after a few stairs. You might think it's just aging, but in truth, your muscles and nervous system are missing the raw materials to rebuild. That's where peanuts come in. You don't have to search far. One small handful, about 30 g, contains 7 to 8 g of protein, healthy fats, and a variety of minerals like magnesium, potassium, folate, and the antioxidant resveratrol, famous in red wine. These are exactly what aging muscles, nerves, and circulation need. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that in older adults, adding plant-based protein from peanuts helped slow muscle loss, improve recovery after activity, and maintain grip strength, a key predictor of longevity. Even more important, peanuts play a quiet but essential role in stabilizing blood sugar. If you often feel drained mid-morning, shaky after lunch, or randomly out of energy for no clear reason, it may be due to blood sugar swings. The healthy fats and fiber in peanuts help slow sugar absorption, keeping your energy steady throughout the day, instead of spiking and crashing like it does with sweet snacks or juice. Someone once joked, "Peanuts are like an old friend from the countryside, plain, not flashy, rarely praised, but always there when you need them." It's true. When you're tired for no reason, when your legs don't feel as solid, when your body takes longer to bounce back from a long day, a handful of plain, dry-roasted, unsalted peanuts can do more than you'd expect. Don't let outdated beliefs fool you. Simplicity isn't useless. Low cost doesn't mean low value. When used correctly, peanuts can become a quiet, consistent ally in your effort to maintain strength, clarity, and independence at this stage of life. You don't need much, just a small handful a day, with a warm drink, or slowly chewed mid-morning, and your body will gradually respond. With warmth in your hands, more confident steps, and the feeling that you gave yourself exactly what you needed, right when you needed it. Number 2. Pistachios. Pistachios, small, green, often seen as a light snack, are actually one of the most powerful nuts for people over 65. You don't need to eat a lot. No fancy preparation required. Just a small handful a day can improve blood flow, warm your hands and feet, sharpen your mind, and most importantly, help you stand up more steadily in the afternoon. After 65, many people begin to notice small changes. Cold hands in the morning, tingling feet even if you haven't been sitting long. Sometimes, just a trip to the market makes your legs feel heavy, each step more sluggish than the last. Some people can sit down just fine, but get dizzy when standing, needing to hold onto a chair. These symptoms aren't always about the heart or blood pressure. Often, they're simply a sign that your blood is flowing too slowly. This is where pistachios come in. A study from Penn State University found that just 50 dessert of pistachios per day over 4 weeks improved blood vessel dilation, smoothed blood flow, and gently regulated blood pressure. With better circulation, legs no longer feel heavy, hands aren't as icy, and the brain gets more oxygen, so you don't feel foggy midday or drowsy after lunch. Pistachios also help keep blood sugar stable. Thanks to their natural fiber, protein, and healthy fats, they slow down sugar absorption. That means no more crashing into a nap right after eating, or suddenly feeling weak mid-morning. A daily struggle for many older adults. And inside these little green nuts? Lutein and zeaxanthin, powerful antioxidants that protect aging eyes. If you've noticed blurred vision while reading, sensitivity to sunlight, or early signs of cataracts, adding pistachios to your snack routine is a smart move. So, how should you eat them? You only need one small handful a day, about 30 dreg, or 40-45 pistachios. Choose dry roasted, unsalted, or raw with the skins on. Absolutely avoid pistachios that are oil roasted, salted, or sweetened. Those colorful, ready-to-eat packs at the store often contain cheap oils and salt that cancel out the benefits you're after. Someone once said, "I used to think pistachios were just a snack, but after eating them daily for 2 weeks, my legs felt warmer, and I could stand without wobbling." It's not a miracle. It's your body getting exactly what it was missing. Maybe you've never paid attention to pistachios before, but starting today, give them a chance. Because sometimes, the thing that helps you walk stronger, remember better, and feel just a bit more alive comes from a quiet handful of little green nuts. Number 1. Hazelnuts. Hazelnuts, small, round, with a modest brown shell, are the number 1 nut for people over 65 for one important reason: they nourish the central nervous system. That means better memory, improved balance, and quicker motor reflexes. All things that often fade quietly with age. If you felt your hands moving slower, shaking slightly when lifting a glass, or struggling to stand as quickly as before, the issue may not just be muscle loss. It's a sign that the nervous system is weakening, causing your body to lose its natural coordination. And this is exactly where hazelnuts shine. In a small handful, about 30 g, hazelnuts provide nearly 100% of your daily recommended vitamin E, which protects the myelin sheath surrounding your nerves. This helps keep the signals between your brain and body clear and steady. A rich supply of manganese and copper, which are critical for motor reflexes and for producing energy in brain cells. A healthy dose of monounsaturated fats, the same heart and brain-friendly fats that lower bad cholesterol and improve circulation. A study in Nutrients, 2021, showed that seniors who regularly consumed hazelnuts had better reflexes and felt calmer, less anxious, and more stable in their daily activities. Beyond the nervous system, hazelnuts help stabilize blood pressure, protect the heart, and speed up recovery after fatigue, thanks to magnesium and natural antioxidants. You can enjoy hazelnuts as a midday snack, sprinkled over oatmeal, or crushed into plain yogurt. Just make sure to choose dry-roasted, unsalted, or raw whole nuts to preserve their valuable nutrients. Avoid sugar-coated or chocolate-covered versions, common in commercial snacks. Sometimes just one small change, like adding hazelnuts daily, can make a real difference. Steadier hands when writing, a clear head in the morning, and lighter steps at the end of the day. One small nut, quietly keeping your body in rhythm as the years go by. But not all nuts are good for you. Some that seem healthy are silently causing inflammation, weakness, and imbalance. And if you're over 65, the next few nuts might be making your fatigue, joint pain, and instability even worse. Number 5. Walnuts. To many, walnuts are seen as the king of nuts. Touted as heart-healthy, brain-boosting, and rich in omega-3s. But for those over 65, especially if you've started noticing slower steps, creaky joints, bloating, or mental fog, walnuts may not be the healthy snack you think they are. After 65, the body no longer handles fats and antioxidants the way it used to. The inflammatory response becomes more sensitive. The liver and kidneys work more slowly, and even a small nutritional imbalance can trigger a cascade of fatigue, joint pain, and decline. Here's the problem with walnuts. They're extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids, far beyond what an aging body needs, especially when not balanced with enough omega-3s from fish or flaxseed. The result? A state of chronic low-grade inflammation, which shows up as mild knee swelling after meals, heavy limbs and stiffness in the morning, bloating and sluggish digestion, dull skin, and midday energy crashes. But it gets worse. The oils in walnuts go rancid very easily, especially once shelled or stored improperly. Just a few weeks of air exposure can break down the unsaturated fats, forming compounds called lipid peroxides, powerful pro-inflammatory agents that damage soft tissue, especially joints and blood vessels. You don't have to eat a large handful. Even a few rancid walnuts can silently stress the liver, overwork the kidneys, and worsen any existing pain or fatigue. A 2021 study in the Journal of Nutrition and Aging found that for adults over 65 with joint conditions, regular walnut consumption didn't improve cognition, and instead increased markers of endothelial inflammation and delayed physical recovery. Even worse, many commercial walnuts are roasted with industrial oils or coated for shelf life. So not only are you eating a nut prone to spoilage, you're also adding a small daily dose of harmful fats. It might not be enough to notice right away, but over time, it affects your endurance, memory, and balance. If you've got walnuts in your kitchen, check them now. Are they past their expiration date? Do they smell slightly rancid or taste unusually bitter? Do you feel bloated, heavy, or fatigued after eating them? If yes, stop. There are other nuts that are easier to digest, gentler on your body, and don't promote inflammation. Because after 65, eating the wrong thing doesn't just make you gain weight, it drains your strength. And walnuts, for all their brainy reputation, may be the most dangerous nut on your plate if you're not careful. Number 4. Macadamia nuts. Macadamia nuts are the richest in fat of all nuts. Nearly 80% of their content is fat, most of it monounsaturated. That might sound healthy, but after age 65, what matters isn't the reputation, it's whether your body can process and absorb it. And the truth is, at a certain age, the body can no longer handle dense fats like it once did. Metabolism slows down, liver function weakens, and even healthy calories, when unnecessary, quickly turn into visceral fat. Just a small handful of macadamia nuts, around 10 to 12, packs nearly 200 calories, about the same as a small meal. But they're easy to overeat. They're soft, buttery, and don't make you feel full. The more you eat, the more energy your body takes in without burning it off. The result? Bloating and slow digestion. Sluggishness and resistance to movement. Unusual fatigue after eating. Gradual weight gain with no clear cause. The danger with macadamias isn't that they harm you immediately. It's that they're gentle, pleasant, and deceptive. And that's exactly why it's hard to recognize them as the culprit, until you feel heavier, lose stamina, and start dragging your feet. A 2020 study in clinical nutrition ESPN found that seniors who frequently consumed energy-dense nuts, especially macadamias, had higher risk of visceral fat accumulation, slower muscle recovery, and greater difficulty managing glucose and fat metabolism. Worse, many people consume macadamias in flavored forms: salted, buttered, honey-roasted. These premium snacks are often loaded with salt, sugar, and industrial oils, making them even harder to digest, more inflammatory, and tougher on your liver and kidneys. If lately you've noticed gaining weight despite not eating much, feeling tired long after light activity, trouble sleeping, bloating, low energy, or just not bouncing back like you used to, then macadamia nuts could be part of the problem, even if you're only eating a few each day. At this age, food isn't just about enjoyment anymore. It's about recovery. Choose what your body can absorb, not what just feels fancy on the tongue. Macadamia nuts aren't the enemy, but they're no longer the ally your body needs right now. Number 3. Cashews. Cashews are a popular snack, especially in the form of salted or flavored varieties. But for people over 65, this may be one of the most quietly harmful nuts out there, especially when prepared the most common way: roasted in industrial oils and coated in salt. The biggest issue isn't the cashew itself, it's how it's processed. When cashews are roasted in cheap vegetable oil and heavily salted for flavor, they become a nutritional trap. At a time when your body is slowing down and your blood vessels need to stay open for smooth circulation, these tasty treats can narrow your blood vessels, raise your blood pressure, cause water retention and swelling in your limbs, trigger low-grade chronic inflammation in your joints. Just one handful of salted roasted cashews can contain up to 200 to 300 mg of sodium, nearly 20% of the daily limit for older adults. Add in industrial oils loaded with omega-6 fats, and you've got a recipe for headaches, joint swelling, bloating, and an all-day energy slump. You might think, but I only eat a few. The problem is, cashews are addictive. Once you start, it's easy to keep going, especially since they're crunchy, creamy, and lightly salty. Just the kind of taste older adults gravitate toward. And when your body reacts, achy joints, a heavy head, shallow sleep, or shaky limbs, you may dismiss it as just part of getting older. But in truth, your body is trying to speak up. A 2021 study in the Journal of Human Nutrition and Dietetics found that seniors who regularly consumed processed cashews had higher levels of systemic inflammation, higher average blood pressure, and slower recovery after physical activity compared to those who ate little or only raw cashews. So should you give up cashews entirely? Not necessarily, but you do need to. Completely avoid flavored, salted, pre-packaged varieties. If you eat them, choose raw, unsalted, oil-free cashews only. Limit yourself to 2 to 3 cashews per serving, no more than twice a week. At this age, Everything you put in your mouth either heals or inflames. And with cashews, even a small mistake can leave you feeling off all day. Don't let a simple snack derail the progress your body has worked so hard to make. Number 2. Flavored sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds are a familiar favorite for many older adults. Small, convenient, and easy to munch on while watching TV, chatting, or relaxing. But if you're eating the flavored kind, with added salt or artificial seasoning, you're silently feeding your body a cocktail of inflammation, water retention, and joint strain. The problem isn't the seeds themselves, it's how they're treated. Once they're coated in heavy salt, oil roasted, dusted with cheese powder, or sweet spicy flavoring, they lose their health value. Instead, they become overloaded with sodium, preservatives, artificial flavors, and sometimes even addictive taste enhancers. Just one handful of these seemingly harmless seeds can contain 400–500 mg of sodium, almost 1/3 of the recommended daily limit for older adults. A few handfuls a week is more than enough to steadily raise your blood pressure, cause fluid retention, and leave you feeling puffy and drained. Even worse, flavored sunflower seeds can become mildly addictive. You eat a few, then a few more, then the whole bag, and you're still not full. The saltiness keeps you reaching for more, while the fatigue sets in. That's because you're not just taking in sodium, but also harmful fats from industrial oils, which have been linked to chronic joint inflammation and poor circulation in older adults. Many people over 65 describe familiar symptoms: heavy legs at the end of the day, stiff knees after sitting too long, or waking up with swollen hands and a heavy-feeling face. These small but persistent issues may stem from those harmless little sunflower seed packs you've been snacking on week after week. If you're trying to reduce joint pain, sleep better, or rebuild your strength, flavored sunflower seeds may be quietly working against you. And remember, small seed, big impact, especially when consumed regularly without noticing. If you really enjoy sunflower seeds, there's only one safe way to eat them. Choose raw or dry roasted, unsalted, unflavored seeds. Eat very little, and not every day. But if you're eating the kind with seasoning, coatings, or sweet salty flavors, it's best to stop. After age 65, you don't have extra room for trial and error with things that only seem small. Number 1. Pecans. Pecans often show up in baked goods, breakfast cereals, nut mixes, and even those heart-healthy snack packs at the grocery store. With their cute shape, buttery taste, and smooth texture, they seem like a gentle, wholesome choice. But beneath that mild appearance lies one of the most problematic nuts for people over 65. First, pecans are unusually high in fat, nearly 72 grams of fat per 100 grams of nuts. And unlike almonds or hazelnuts, the fats in pecans are harder to digest and more likely to lead to excess energy storage. The result? A sluggish feeling, heaviness, and over time, stubborn weight gain that feels impossible to reverse. You might notice it without realizing. After a salad sprinkled with pecans or a slice of pecan pie, your belly feels tight, your body slows down, and the rest of your afternoon feels like you're dragging through molasses. Second, most pecans on the market today are no longer in their natural state. They're sugar-coated, syrup-glazed, butter-roasted, or caramel-dipped. These versions turn pecans into dessert disguised as health food. Just one small handful can deliver a shocking dose of hidden sugar, which disrupts your blood sugar balance, triggers inflammation, and leads to swollen joints and nighttime discomfort. A 2022 study in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging found that older adults who regularly consumed high-fat, high-sugar nuts like pecans were more likely to experience digestive issues, reduced insulin sensitivity, and poor muscle recovery, even after light physical activity. Even worse, pecans are notorious for causing bloating and gas, especially in people with sensitive digestion. Many describe feeling abdominal tightness, poor sleep, and waking up the next morning feeling drained or with a dull headache. It's not a serious danger, but that low-grade discomfort adds up day after day, slowly draining your energy with every bite. Yes, pecans taste good, but at this age, your body doesn't need tasty. It needs digestible, anti-inflammatory, and recovery-supporting foods. And sadly, pecans don't fit that bill. In fact, eaten regularly, they may leave you feeling more fatigued without knowing why. If you once thought pecans were a gentle gift for graceful aging, it's time to rethink that. For people over 65, pecans are one of the most harmful nuts you should avoid. After 65, your body doesn't bounce back like it used to. One misstep, one bad night's sleep, one sluggish day can snowball into weeks of discomfort. And as surprising as it sounds, something as small as the nuts you eat each day can make a massive difference. Choose the right 5, and your body gets quiet support, stronger steps, clearer thinking, and steadier days, all without pills or pricey supplements. Pick the wrong ones, and you risk chronic inflammation, slow digestion, joint strain, and unexplained fatigue. At this age, your health doesn't depend on something grand. It lives in every bite, in every small habit. The right nut can be fuel. The wrong nut can be a burden. You don't have to remember a long list. Just remember, choose the right 5. Avoid the wrong 5. Start today. Start with your next meal. Because every steady step, every restful night, every clear-headed morning starts with what you feed your body. If you found these insights helpful, hit subscribe so you never miss another tip for life after 65. We're here every week with simple advice that can help you move stronger, live better, and enjoy each day more fully. Because aging doesn't mean getting weaker. With the right info, at the right time, you can grow stronger again. See you in the next video.